Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, today in this reading, we're going to look at a message for you from someone who loves you. I'm not going to limit this to just a romantic reading. We're going to look at anyone who loves you, be it a friend, a family member, a higher entity like your higher self, an angel, a spirit guide, anyone who would like to come in right now, who has a lot of love to offer you and a message and some guidance for you. So we're going to take a look at who this is, what their message is, if they have any advice for you, and also what a wish is that they have for you. So as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your piles, and today we have seashells. So for pile number one, we have this cool spiral shell. Oh, that's better. Now you can see it. For pile two, we have this ridged mermaidy type shell. And for pile three, we have another spiral shell, but this one makes me think of like unicorns. So as always, timestamps are down in the description below. I'll give you guys some time with these piles to go ahead and pick what calls to you intuitively. If you enjoy this video and it resonates with you, then make sure you hit that big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Comment below how this reading resonates for you. Do all that cool stuff. It really helps. And without much further ado, I'll see you at your reading. Pile number one, hello, welcome to your reading. So if you picked this spiral shell, then here is a message for you from your loved one, from someone who loves you. So the way I've arranged it is that these cards are going to tell us who this person is, or this soul, or this entity, whoever. And these will tell us what message they have, these tarot cards and clarifiers. These two will give us some advice for you from this person based off this message. And then finally, with this little card, which we will read from the book, we'll take a look at what their wish for you is, if they have any wishes for you, which they do, because we have a card. So, all right. I'm going to be honest, I am a little bit flustered and a little anxious. So either you're in an energy of anxiety, pile one, or this person thinks you are, or this person is kind of anxious if this is someone you know in the 3D world. But okay, let's get ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Wow. Okay. Who is this person that has a message for you today? We have the Four of Wands in reverse. And that is clarified by the King of Wands in reverse. This seems like someone who may not be in your life anymore. And when they were in your life, they had great passion for you, but perhaps something has changed now. Perhaps you walked away from a situation, and this person is trying, like their higher self is trying to communicate with you. I've gone ahead and done one archetype card for everyone, but your group decided you needed two. I'm not reading reversals for this, but let's see. We have the Ocean and the Mirror. All right, so with when I shuffled these, I was kind of hoping they would show us sort of what this dynamic is. And I am going to read these intuitively, not necessarily from the book meaning of them. But to me, both the Ocean and the Mirror kind of tells me that this was someone who maybe saw a lot of themselves in you and therefore loved those aspects of you. And maybe that's why you walked away from the situation, because you feel like you weren't being seen for who you are. Because in this, do you see the eye that's in the ocean? And the ocean is water, and water is very reflective, as is a mirror. And so that to me kind of gives me the impression of this person pretty much just saw you as a reflection of themselves, and was only capable of loving you to the extent that they loved themselves and in the ways that they preferred to be loved. And you might, okay, there's a couple different dynamics that are coming to mind here. This could be someone you were in a relationship with, or someone you lived with. I'm thinking more in terms of like family, that kind of dynamic. Someone who had some sort of authority over you that they hadn't necessarily earned, but they kind of demanded. So it could be like a very lopsided power dynamic is what I'm getting here. And I do get the feeling that you're the one who walked away from the situation. This is definitely someone from your past, and someone who really, really saw themselves in you. There was a lot of depth of feeling there that perhaps they didn't convey, or when they did, it almost felt like a little too much, because think of how vast the ocean is. It's almost overwhelming. And maybe with this person, things moved too fast. It was like too much too soon. And maybe because there is so much mirroring, maybe even you held up a mirror to their toxic traits and they didn't quite like that. And therefore, they kind of tried to exercise their power in that situation, whatever that may be. So for instance, if this is, say, a parental figure, potentially a paternal figure in your life who was quite domineering, quite demanding, especially when it comes to things like respect or certain behaviors. They might have expected you to be someone that wasn't necessarily reflective of who you are, but it was reflective of who they are and who they expected you to be. And as a result, it kind of created a lot of friction there. And to them, it might not have made sense, because in their minds, they were doing all the right things and they were giving you the love that they thought you wanted. But the truth is, they are the ones who wanted that kind of love and that kind of affection, whereas you may have needed something completely different. And they were not willing to step away from their ego, as in their sense of identity, for long enough to try and understand what you needed in that situation. Okay, this next bit might only resonate for some of you. So take it or leave it. But this does feel like someone who may have passed away, may have passed on from this earth realm. And maybe this is their higher self coming in to speak to you today. Because with both these cards in reverse, it kind of gives me a sense of like, maybe they're not here anymore, or maybe they're just not in your life anymore. In either case, there's this feeling of grief almost. And maybe that anxiety was something that you felt a lot when you were around this person. And maybe that's why that was coming up earlier in the reading. So if that's something that resonates for you, if that's a person you can identify in your life, then let's go ahead and take a look at the message that they have for you. I've gone ahead and pulled out all the stops today, you guys. I've pulled out every single card deck I have. We have the 10 of Swords, which is no surprise. And that is clarified by the 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely been an ending of some sort here. Um, but it's almost like an ending that's leading to them saying, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't think I can fight anymore. Maybe now at this point the dynamics have reversed almost, where they no longer hold that power over you, and so now they don't really have the equipment they needed at the time in order to argue with you or fight you or engage in any form of conflict. um with the Ten of Swords, it whoa, that was a loud horn, I'm sorry. With the Ten of Swords, it kind of feels like this is sort of a permanent ending where you won't see yourself going back to this person ever again. And they kind of almost acknowledge that may be a good thing for the both of you, because with the Seven of Wands in reverse, it's like, I don't want to fight anymore. And this is great because if we don't have any contact in the 3D realm, we are not going to fight, you know? And they're acknowledging that there's been an ending and that the ending is for the best. So if there's any guilt that you've been carrying for this ending, or any sort of guilt you might be carrying for saying the things that you said while they were in your life, or survivor's guilt or anything like that, this person is acknowledging that you have no need to feel that guilt, because everything that transpired between the two of you, first of all, was likely karmic in nature, and second of all, was very warranted. Like the way you've responded to them, they're acknowledging that that's completely fair, especially since it seems like they kind of held an unfair advantage where you were not equipped at the time to really fight them on an even field. But now something has changed. Now the dynamic is the other way around. And now there is no fight left. Okay. This is very, very specific, but it's coming through and I have to say it. This could be potentially someone who can no longer care for themselves and you're the one who's caring for them now. This may have been someone who raised you, potentially a parent or a caregiver of some sort, and now the tables have turned. And when you were growing up, you had no choice but to be around them and take whatever they threw at you because you depended on them for survival. And now it's the other way around, where they depend on you for survival. But while you are willing to do your duty, they very well know that there is no emotional connection there anymore. Or perhaps you've walked away completely and now they don't have anyone to look after them, and now they feel the abandonment that you felt growing up. But the higher self is coming through to say, like, look, that's completely fair. My earth self may not agree, but I understand. It does feel, this reading kind of feels like it's here to absolve you of any guilt you might be carrying about the situation. That's like the overview I'm getting. Next, we have the Ace of Coins, and that's clarified by the Ace of Wands. Okay, yeah, they're acknowledging that you're beginning anew without them. It's almost like, now that I'm out of your life can finally begin. It's kind of bittersweet in a way, because they know that they won't be a part of this new beginning, but they really want to see you happy, and they understand that a huge portion of you being happy is for them to not be part of your new beginning. And this is the bit where it feels like this is more like a higher self coming through, or a spirit guide, or like the version of this person that is no longer on this planet or hasn't been on this planet that's coming through. Because it almost feels like with the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Wands, they can almost look into your future and see the cool stuff that's coming your way, because the Ace of Coins is a new abundance, a new cycle of abundance. The Ace of Wands is a new cycle of passion and excitement and creativity. And both of these coming out together from two completely different decks as well is a huge indicator that there is some cycle in your life that has ended, with the Ten of Swords as well. And every ending contains the seed of a new beginning. That's just true. That is just how life works. So for this person to come in, this person who seemingly has hurt you so much in the past, to come in a reading where it's like a message from someone who loves you, it does really tell me that this is their higher self talking, because our higher selves are nothing but unconditional love, right? But in either case, they're looking forward to these new beginnings for you, and they have nothing but love and joy and just the happiest of wishes for you. And, you know, if this is some sort of like ancestor or something, they do fully support and bless this new beginning for you, even if when they were on this planet with you, they would not have. Yeah. And they had to be out of your life for this new beginning to really take root for you. Because if they were still actively in your life, this would not have worked. Yeah, this definitely feels like someone who has taken from you so much over and over and over again. And now it's at a point where they cannot demand from you, but they also cannot give to you, because it's well in the past and they know not to expect anything from you in terms of like emotion or love or kindness or anything like this. But they understand that whatever this new beginning is, you more than deserve it. It does feel, yeah, this reading feels a lot like absolution, where they're like, you don't need to carry any guilt, you don't need to carry any hurt, you don't deserve the way that you were treated, no one does, and it is perfectly fine to leave this situation if it's doing nothing but harming you. Oh, we have the sun. That's funny because these are sunflowers, and clarified by Temperance in reverse. Interesting. So both fiery energies. The sun is Leo energy, Temperance is Sagittarius. Some people might say it's Aquarian energy, but to me this is Sagittarius energy. So the sun is joy and optimism, and it really does feel like your life moving ahead has nothing but just abundance and so much excitement and, you know, so much happiness that hasn't come your way up until this point. And with the Temperance in reverse, it's almost like it might seem like it's unbalanced joy and abundance. It might seem like, whoa, where is all this coming from? I need to ground myself. And maybe that's a piece of advice they have for you, is to ground yourself. Wow, these sunflowers are shedding all over my cards. Okay. They're not real, they're fake. But anyway, yeah, it's almost like there is so much happiness coming your way. There's so much success and glory coming your way. It's almost going to feel a little overwhelming. Like it's going to come out of nowhere and it's just like, whoa, I don't understand. Like I don't feel grounded. I don't feel balanced. And maybe that's something they're telling you to watch out for. Maybe when this person was in your life, they were constantly about like keeping it even, keeping it balanced. Don't get too hyped. Don't get too excited. Like, whoa, like chill out. Like always stay hyper focused and hyper grounded. And maybe there is still some aspect of that kind of message for you from the higher self today as well. But with the temperance in reverse, it's almost like a suggestion of, hey, all this joy is coming your way, but please remember to stay balanced. Please remember to always come back to yourself. And try your best not to be seduced by the illusion of life. Like, find yourself so you have something to root into when all of this comes in, because it almost feels like a trajectory from the Ace of Coins straight to the Sun. Like there's no in between cards, and it's like you're not necessarily prepared because clearly you weren't trained to be happy or successful by this person, and so maybe they're just stepping in to say like, hey, I didn't teach you how to find balance, but like you're gonna have to figure that out yourself. So that's just something to keep in mind. But there's a lot of fire energy, a lot of fire energy. These are all fiery cards. So maybe this person has fire in their chart, or maybe you have fire in your chart. But whatever it is, maybe you're stepping into a time where you're really tapping into that creative, forceful, powerful, like, bam, I'm here. I'm ready to show myself. That kind of energy. You're like stepping into the sun. And this person is so happy. Is so happy for you. Well, their higher self is so happy for you and is so happy to see you grow despite what they've done to you in the past. So let's take a look at some advice they have for you in regards to this message. First, we have birthing a new age. What did I tell you? Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. You're definitely stepping into a very creative time. Even if you don't consider yourself a creative person in the traditional sense, like maybe you don't engage in arts and crafts or anything like that. Being creative is just a state of mind. It's how you think, and a lot of the times, and this is the great irony of it all, is a lot of the times, the very deeply creative people come from very difficult beginnings. Because when you can't rely on the outside world to bring you comfort, you go inwards and you create a rich inner world as a protective mechanism. And eventually when you heal, you're able to turn that rich inner world into expression, and that's creativity in whatever form it may take. So you're stepping into a time where you're able to take all of this that you've been through and really channel it in powerful ways to bring to this world something it's never seen before. Be that, art, be it music, be it, dance, sport, whatever, athletics, I don't know, a business, whatever it is, you're stepping into a time where you're turning your rich inner world into abundance. You're taking what's been hidden inside you, what's been shunned almost, and turning it into wealth. You're turning it into power, and that is incredible. And this higher self of this person, or this spirit guide, or whoever wants to come in, it does feel like the higher self of this person. This person is has nothing but admiration for you, where they're seeing all the harm they've done to you, and they're seeing how you transmute that into beauty. And while they do wish they had been better, they are also grateful to have been part of your journey, even if it is in a dark, twisted way. And they are eager to see what you come up with moving forward. And we have, oh, there we go. See, Whale and Orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. You might be a musician. Maybe you had musical talents that this person shunned when you were very young and you never really followed through. And now you have the ability and the opportunity to get back into it. But also it could just be your voice in general, not necessarily literally, although maybe, but also like your metaphorical voice, the ways in which you're able to change the world, your message to this world, whatever it is. This person really wants you to put it out there, to really share it with the world, because the world needs to hear it. Because there is a lot of healing in what you have to say and a lot of growth. You might have noticed in the past where you advise people and it completely changes their lives. It changes the way they look at life. It changes how they see themselves. And it brings them a lot of success. And now you might be recognizing this in you, and you might be sharing it with the world and recognizing it as part of your soul's purpose right now. And that's beautiful. And this person highly, highly encourages it. Like, do you see all the stars in both these images? There's so many stars. You might be part of like a very powerful Starseed family, or just a very powerful spiritual soul family. And your soul family is definitely around you right now, just kind of like cheering you on, like, you got this. I'm hearing like it's time for you to take your rightful place in the light. That's what I'm hearing over and over again. It's time. It's time for you to take your rightful place in the light. And there's just so many voices in my head right now, just like it's almost like an army of souls behind you. Just like, it's time. You're ready. It's time. You're ready. It's time. Like that's what I keep seeing / hearing. You might be quite clairaudient. You might hear messages, because like it's all coming to me as voices and spoken word. You might be a spoken word poet as well. I don't know. But anyway, what is this person's wish for you? Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. This is number 56. So if that number means anything to you, it reduces to an 11, which is the number of mirroring. But yeah, let's focus. Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Again, dreaming a new world into being. Wow, okay, you're definitely stepping into a time, Power One, where you're really working on bringing your dreams into fruition. But let's read what the book has to say. Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then Spirit joins as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and Spirit will take 10 towards you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider Spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with Spirit. Another message of Spider Spirit is about any creative project you may be considering: writing, painting, music, journaling, gardening, etc. Now is the time when inspiration wants to be channeled through. Creative projects are successful now if you are so inclined. Let yourself be open to abundance. Yes, this is such a creative, powerful time for you, Power One, and you absolutely need to dive into it. Let go of any guilt you may be holding on to, because this person doesn't want you to hold on to any guilt. and step into the light, step into your power. It's time. You have all the divine support that you would ever need, that anyone ever needs. So that's your message of love from someone who loves you, who may not have seemed like they loved you, but the higher self definitely does. So that's your message for today, Pal One. Thank you so much for being here and spending some time with me and letting me read for you today. I truly hope this brought you some love and clarity and support. If it did, then please remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more readings. If you like what I do, there's a link to a tip jar down in the description. And if you'd like to support my work, I'd be ever so grateful. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel. And that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Pal number 2, hello, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this ridged classic mermaid shell thing, then this is your reading about a message from someone who loves you. So the way I've gone ahead and laid these cards out is these 2 cards plus this archetype card will tell us who this person is, and what role they may play or have played in your life. With these 3 cards and 3 clarifiers, we'll take a look at what their message is for you today. These 2 cards will give us some advice from them regarding this message. And then finally, what they wish for you moving forward. So yeah, without much further ado, let's go ahead. I'm not reading reversals for any of the oracle cards, by the way. And this one I'll just be reading intuitively, and this one I will read from the book. Okay, without much further ado, let's dive in. So, who is this person? We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And that's clarified by the Lovers in reverse. Okay. Both of these are air cards, and both of these are in reverse. This is someone, I don't think you've heard from them in a while or ever. This could be someone who is either coming in your future, or this is someone who was supposed to be on your path but was taken away for whatever reason, was diverted. Or it could be a new spirit guide that's coming into your life. But let's see. We have the Bridge. Okay. Okay. This is going to be very strange, but it almost feels like this is someone who is about to enter your life, but you don't really know them. And this communication that they're trying to send you is meant to sort of bridge the gap between the two of you. Interesting, because with the Lovers, there's 2 people here. And with the Knight of Swords, this is someone coming in with a lot of information at great speed. But both of these are in reverse. Usually that means energy. Well, the way I read it, I usually read these types of reversals as past energy. But for whatever reason, it's almost feeling like it's not past energy, it's hidden energy. This is someone you don't know yet. And this reading is sort of bridging the gap where you'll potentially, through these messages, you might recognize this person when they do come in. But the higher self probably communicates with you through ideas and through thoughts and sort of mental chatter, if that makes sense. Interesting. The energy is quite shifty. Well, not like in a seedy way, but it's like it's not stagnant. It won't sit still in one place. This is someone very high energy. It could be an angel. if that's something you resonate with, like a guardian angel potentially, because a lot of air energy, that's very angelic, very ethereal, interdimensional, that kind of thing. And there is an angel in this card as well. It could be someone an angel is bringing in, and maybe this angel has a message for you about this person that's coming into your life. Maybe that would make sense, because then this angel is acting as almost like a bridge between two people. Huh. Interesting. But in either case, this is a message either from or about someone new that's entering your life very, very soon. And you might feel their energy around, um, because you'll find that you're suddenly getting these like mental nudges to go somewhere, or to start doing something, or to look up a certain piece of information. Like, you might get these random little ideas that you feel compelled to follow. Definitely follow them, because the more of these you follow, the more you're bridging the gap between you and this person, whoever this is. But whoa, do you hear the bike in the background? That's crazy. But it almost feels like the message. Yeah, I don't think the message is from this person who's coming in. It's about this person from a sort of angel that's looking over this connection. And this angel acts as a bridge, and that's why they're coming in as the bridge archetype. Interesting. Wow, you guys are watching me solve a puzzle in real time. But let's go ahead and take a look at what message this angel has for you. So let me just go ahead and... Okay. The first couple of cards we have is the Ace of Cups. There we go. I did have an inkling, but I didn't want to make assumptions. And that's clarified by the Ace of Cups in reverse. What on earth? Okay. I swear I've like shuffled both these decks a million times. That's crazy. The Ace of Cups upright and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, whoever is coming in, this is potentially a romantic partner, but it almost feels like you're not looking for a partner at this time, or when they come in, or you don't necessarily see them as a potential partner to begin with. There's a lot of like hidden energy here, where maybe this person that comes in, like, it starts out as a friendship, or I don't think it's necessarily a work relationship, but it almost feels like not even like a one-on-one friendship. It's like a someone that comes in as part of a friend group, which is strange because none of the cards indicate that. That's just like something I'm channeling right now. It feels like the way you meet this person isn't like one-on-one. You don't just like run into each other or like meet just the two of you. It almost feels like you don't see them as an individual per se. Oh, what is this? Sorry, I got distracted by my nail. You don't even really notice this person when they come in. And again, with that reversal, it's for whatever reason for you guys. I'm wow, I can't even speak. For you guys, I'm kind of feeling this sense of the reversals are energies that are about to happen, but are being hidden from you at this point in time. It's like when this person comes in, you don't even really think much about them at all. And they don't really create like a very strong impression, at least not in like a romantic sense. You might walk away from your interaction or like the first few interactions with them, just feeling like, this person is cool, I guess, but not really thinking much of it. That's so cool. No, it's not cool that you like don't think much of this person, but it's so cool that both these cards came out like one under the other. We have the High Priestess, clarified by the Four of Swords. Okay. I think intuitively, for whatever reason, you will feel a connection with this person. Um, Obviously, because they're being specially brought in for you. I'm not going to put any labels on this because it's not my place, but it does feel like a divinely guided connection. All right, that's all I'll say. But intuitively, you do feel like sort of intrigued by them, but also you might be in a place where you're just coming out of something difficult. You might be there right now. Um, and you're like, I just want to rest. However, you'll also feel like this is not a very high intensity connection of any kind. It's like, it's pretty chilled out. It's pretty, you know, you have the time and space to do whatever you want or need to do. This person potentially really encourages your intuition, or your intuition is heightened once this person enters your life, or your intuition is heightened around this person, or this person is highly intuitive, or all of the above. But in either case, it's quite like a chilled out, like the Four of Swords energy is relaxation, is rest, is you've done the hard work and you're gonna take a moment to breathe. And maybe that's when this person comes in. And that's potentially why you don't necessarily see this as a potential romantic connection or like anything too emotionally intense, because you're just not open to it at the time. And yeah. And maybe that's why the Lovers is in reverse, because you don't really see this person as a potential lover or love interest. And wow, I did not intend for this to be a like romantic love reading, but you guys, I know you probably don't feel like you want it right now, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. um, what else? Yeah, this person might help you deal with a lot of anxiety as well, where it's like they really help you feel calm. They're like a grounding presence in your life. I feel grounded sitting in this energy. Like, that's crazy. I was just anxious with pile one, and now I'm like, whoa, oof, you know? And trust me, pile one was not like a romance reading, but it's very different energies. But this person has a very strong, calming presence. And it almost feels like that is exactly what you might need when they come into your life. And potentially that's why they're being brought into your life. Yeah, it's a very soothing presence. What else do we have? We have the World. And look, there's like a sweet couple on it. The World card in the traditional deck does not have a couple. It just has the one character. So, intentional. And that's clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, wow. This is... Huh. Okay, do you know what's interesting? It almost feels like this is the true energy and this is the perception that you have of this connection. Where it's like, this is the Ace of Cups is the truth, but your perception is, nah, it can't be. The High Priestess is the truth. That intuitive hit you get about this person is the truth, but you're like, Nah, I'm just resting right now. I'm not really interested in anything intense right now. I'm just gonna do my own thing. The world, this feeling of completion and oneness with this person and the entire universe when this person comes in is the truth. But you're like, nah, it's just serendipitous. It's just a random meeting. Like, I don't really think this person is meant to be in my life. um they just kind of happen to be in the same friend group as me. um yeah, you might see this as serendipitous, but over time you'll start to recognize that this person may well be like end goal material. You know what I mean? Like, this could be the person that you realize you want to settle down with, and if not them, someone like them, is someone that you could see yourself being with in the long term. But it just comes in so quickly and so randomly that you're almost sort of taken aback a little bit. You're like, how did this person sort of step in? Why are they such a grounding presence? And why, despite me trying not to engage in anything like this, why do I feel drawn to them? Why do I feel the need to reach out to them more? Why is it so calming when I'm around them? Why does my intuition keep telling me things about them that I have no business knowing, but for whatever reason, I feel like I should know? And I don't know about you, but to me, soul connections, like soul family connections, soul mates, and just people who are put in our lives for a higher purpose, those relationships, in my experience, they do kind of make you trust your intuition a lot more. They help you kind of develop a stronger and more intense relationship with the universe as a whole and with, your psychic gifts. They might help you go through a spiritual awakening, that kind of thing. And so when this person comes in, you might find that you're suddenly thrown into a lot of shadow work as well. And that's just perfectly fine. Um, Maybe that's why you're in this Four of Swords energy of like, I don't really have the energy for anything. I'm processing a lot right now, and that's all well and good. But I don't think this person is going anywhere. And maybe that's another reason the Knight of Swords is in reverse, because usually the Knight of Swords in reverse in general talks about someone who is not moving, or there isn't like forward movement. And in this case, it's almost like this knight is not running away. If we assume that represents this person who's coming in, they're not interested in like walking away. They might recognize you as a potential partner, someone that they want to keep around, whatever the dynamic is. They might recognize your energy as that before you recognize theirs. And they're willing to wait and see how this plays out. They might not like pressurize you and be like, I'll wait for you forever. Like, yeah, you owe me a relationship eventually. Nothing like that. It does feel quite like chilled out, but I think this person will hold the door open for you if/when you decide that you want to step towards them. Um, and if you do, it feels like there is just the ultimate happiness. You might find that your luck just changes completely, and of course it's not luck, it's just that you're more in alignment with your soul's purpose and that kind of thing. But to the untrained eye, it might seem as a string of very good luck. you know and that's so cool that this reading isn't necessarily about the person who is bringing you the message, i.e., this angel or spirit guide or whatever you like to think of is guiding you, but it's more about this person that may be coming your way, and this guide or angel is sort of working to align situations so that your worlds collide. And that's so cool. It's a literal message of love from a being that loves you. I love it. So, what's some advice that this guide has for you regarding this situation? We have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Yeah. I do think that when this person comes in, or just around the time this person is about to come in, you might go through a very heavy period of shadow work and just what's it called when you grow? Oh my goodness. Not enlightenment. What's the word? Wow, okay. You might you might find that you're losing your words a lot. But basically a level up is what I'm trying to say. Where you kind of find aspects in your past that you want to actively heal from. You find certain behavior patterns that you want to work through that are no longer serving you, and just the very core of your being seems to evolve. The very thing that you defined yourself by no longer defines you anymore. And you're sort of reinventing yourself. And I do think this could come after an ending. And if you've just had an ending, especially in love, and if you're at a point right now where you're like, oh, I don't want anything, then this is a good sign that you're being called to do a lot of healing and shadow work and level ups and sort of working through trauma and behavior patterns that are no longer helpful, that kind of thing. But whoever this is coming in does not feel like something you already know. This is like someone completely new. But whatever it is, this connection will transform you, but you will start that transformation before this person even comes in. So that's always a good sign, because anyone who can support your healing to the point where even just them potentially entering your life has kicked off your healing, that's incredible. Like, this is someone you want around. Well, this is someone I want around, so take it or leave it for you. Yeah. You might find that when this person comes in, you're already transforming into someone that is nothing like who you were before them. And you have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. If this is something you want to draw in, the quickest way to do it would be to embrace your weirdness. You might find that in previous situations, in previous relationships, you've kind of molded yourself to fit what you think someone else might like, or what someone else might expect from you. Are we focused? Now we're focused. Yeah, you might find that in the past you almost like subtly changed your behaviors, your ways of dressing and talking or whatever to appeal to a person, to someone else's ideals. And this doesn't necessarily just have to be in relationships. It could also be, on the greater scale, like societally, you might have chosen to dress yourself and act in a way that's socially acceptable for you, but that isn't who you truly are. And through this transformation, you might realize that it's really not worth it to change who you are in order to appease someone else, because at the end of the day, you're the one that you have to live with. You're the one you have to deal with. So that could be something that's changing. You might have a much better sense of self-worth through this transformation. Alternately, through this transformation, you might discover new aspects to who you are. And in embracing them, you'll heal and grow faster, or you'll heal and grow to a higher degree. And that's like a homing beacon that calls this person in. But in either case, your advice is definitely to embrace the changes that you're going through, embrace who you are on the inside, whether people agree with it or support it or not. It's not anyone else's business who you are, and it's not your business how anyone else wants you to act or look or be. And this angel or spirit guide or whoever you believe in is really just stepping in today to be like, we're not doing that anymore. We're not changing ourselves to be palatable for someone else anymore, because that just brings us people and situations who love us for an unsustainable image that we're projecting. If that's not who we are, we cannot keep feeding into that, because eventually we're going to run out of juice. So if you want to tap into an infinite source of juice, you're going to have to tap into your truth. And that's the tea. So finally, let's take a look at what this guide or angel wishes for you, what their wishes for. Look! It's the Otter Spirit. You are never alone. It's not going to focus, is it? Number 42. So if that means anything to you. The Otter Spirit, you are never alone. Oh, and look at the heart shape they're making. Yeah, this is definitely a love reading, which I did not expect. Which is kind of silly to say, because of course there would be at least one pile that has a literal love reading. Otter Spirit, you are never alone. Like true friends, otters nurture each other and express their affection through touch. Actions such as holding hands and giving hugs offer reassurance that we are never really alone and that we are always cherished. Otter Spirit has appeared to remind you to experience and express friendship in a tangible and even tactile way. Otter Spirit's message is that presence matters, so remember to be fully present with those you care about, helping them sense the love and affection and appreciation that you have for them. Now is a time for a joyful celebration of the love in your life that expresses as friendship and companionship. You are never alone and you are always loved. That's so beautiful, you guys. Oh, absolutely adorable. So, yeah, there's a lot of love coming your way, and the best way to encourage more of it is to express and really enjoy and show thanks for the love that's already around you. So that's your message for today, Pile 2. This has put me in such a good mood. But thank you so much for being here and spending some time with me and letting me do this reading for you. I truly hope it brought you some support and clarity. If it did, then please remember to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more readings. Comment below if this resonated for you, how this resonated for you. If you like what I do, would like to support me, there's a PayPal tip jar linked in the description, and your support would mean the whole world to me. Thank you so much. You can stick around to the outro of this video for another reading on my channel, but that's about it for today. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Pile number 3. Hello. So if you picked this spirally shell that makes me think of unicorns, then this is your reading about a message of love from someone you love. So the way I've gone ahead and arranged these cards is these first 2 cards and these 2 archetype cards are going to tell us who this person is that has a message for you today. I had intended for it to just be the 1 archetype card, but both you and Pile 1 ended up getting 2 each. So if you felt drawn to Pile 1, there could be a message there for you. But anyway, these are going to tell us who this person is. These 3 cards and 3 clarifiers will give us insight into what message they have for you. These 2 oracle cards will tell us what their advice is based on this message. And then finally, this one will tell us about what they wish for you. I'm not taking reversals for either of these. This one I will read from the book, and these I will just intuitively read. All right, so without much further ado, let's get in. Who has a message for you today? We have the 5 of Coins, clarified by the 4 of Cups. Interesting. It's almost like this person feels left out in the cold by you, or this is someone that you feel left out in the cold by. But it almost feels like this is someone that one of you sort of didn't really feel the same way about the other person. It's like one person offered something to the other, and then the other person was like, nah, you know. It's kind of a strange situation where it definitely feels very unrequited. That's the word. It feels like an unrequited connection where one person feels a lot stronger about the other than the other feels about them. Interesting. Let's see. For the archetypes, we have the Ring and the One. Okay. So one person here clearly sees this as like a long-term connection where it's like, because the ring makes me think obviously of like a wedding ring or an engagement ring, like a very deep commitment. And the one, in this case, like in the deck, it potentially means the all, like spirit, you know, everyone is part of one big soul. But in this case, it's like the one that's meant for you, that kind of thing. And oh, this is okay, potentially awkward, Humphrey, but did someone propose and the other person said no? Did someone propose to you and you said no? Or did someone offer you commitment and you said no? It doesn't have to be romantic, even though the cards suggest this is like a romantic rejection. It could be someone that offered you a friendship or just came to you with pure intentions and you rejected them. And they had nothing but love for you and you didn't see it at the time. And now they feel left out in the cold. They feel like the universe guided them to you, but you said no. And this doesn't even have to be like someone in the physical. This could be a soul connection where it's like there was a potential for this soul to enter your life and stay in your life forever. But there was like a choice you made that caused this person to just not come into your life. Potentially not come to this planet at all, like not incarnate at all, because your soul was like, I don't want this lesson in this lifetime. But I feel like that's the person coming in today. Is someone you rejected for whatever reason. Like, it doesn't matter why, and whatever reason you chose is perfectly valid. And the fact that they're here today with a message for you still tells me like they still hold so much love for you, no matter what you chose, no matter what the situation was. They have nothing but affection for you and nothing but wonderful things to say about you. But it is just that this was supposed to be a very long-term connection, and through a choice that someone made, it didn't come to be. Hmm. Yeah, it's almost like it's not. I don't want to say it's not romantic because it could be, but my gut is telling me this was more like a soul contract that you sort of rejected, and now this person's soul or this soul is coming in as a higher entity to speak to you today. Because with the one, it's like spirit, right? It's spirit energy. And even with this, like, Four of Cups, it's like a cup that's coming in from the universe. It's not like someone physically offering you a cup. And maybe you've dealt with a lot of loneliness since choosing not to engage in this soul contract as well, with the Five of Coins up there. I almost feel a sort of grief, but it's not the kind of grief where you loved someone and you lost them, but rather it's a kind of grief where you were meant to love someone, but you never had the opportunity to. It's a very strange, very heavy energy. I've never felt this before. Well, yeah, I don't think I've felt this before. But anyway, let's see what their message for you is. Wow, I did not expect it to feel like this. We have the Ten of Wands, clarified by the Three of Cups. Okay. This choice that you made, it might be weighing extremely heavily on you right now. And the way you're coping with it is potentially through escapism. So okay, how do I word this? Like, it's such a new energy to me, you guys. This is the Ten of Wands is the feeling of the burden is too heavy for me to carry, and so I'm just dropping it, just letting go. Whereas the Three of Cups is the energy of like celebration and good times and holiday cheer, that kind of thing, where it's like you're celebrating in order to lose yourself. Or like that's what the toxic side of it could be. And it's like ever since you made this choice to walk away from this karmic lesson or this connection, this soul connection, um, it almost feels like you've been engaging in behaviors that help you escape the heaviness of this grief. Because yeah, that's the feeling, is grief. Grief I have felt. So I recognize it, but it's like a grief for something that never happened. Alternately, this could be the soul telling you like the burden was too much to carry. Like, it's completely fair that you chose not to engage in this path that would have brought us together. Um, it's totally fine if you want to find happiness outside of me, outside of our connection, or whatever it could have been. Like, there is no hard feelings there. Like, you don't owe me sadness, you know? So take that how it resonates, but it's almost like I feel like I'm walking in concrete right now. Like, there's a lot of like heaviness that I'm struggling to like move through. Like, that's the feeling I get. Yeah. They see you potentially engaging in escapist activities, or they see you not celebrating enough and not finding joy in your current life enough. But in either case, like, they're not judging you at all for making the choice that you made, because they understand that it was too much for you to bear at the time. It would have been too much for you to bear right now if this was something you chose a long time ago. In either case, they want you to be happy. They want you to find joy in the connections that you do have around you right now. Because that's what matters. The fact that they are not in your life is not wrong. Because if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't happen. Like, if something wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't be like that. So it's not like you've ripped the fabric of space-time by making the choice that you made, but it feels like this person wishes they could have been part of your life because they would have loved to share in your joys, but they also just fully understand that you were not able to create space for them in your life. And they want you to be happy regardless. Next, we have the Seven of Swords, clarified by the King of Swords. All right. You might carry some hidden trauma from this. You might carry some hidden fears. You might carry some hidden grief. And maybe that's why this message is coming up today, where you don't even recognize that a lot of the reasons why you do the things that you do, why you feel the way that you feel, is because you didn't fully process this choice, this loss. Because even though it was a choice that you made consciously and willfully, you still have the permission to grieve the alternative that you've had to walk away from. And this person thinks you haven't given yourself enough time or space to grieve that. And therefore it might come up as like random anxieties and fears and monsters, just stuff that really doesn't help. And with the King of Swords, it's like they're able to see this from a higher perspective, and they wish that you could as well, because if you could, you would see that this was the smart choice. It may not have been the most emotionally fulfilling one, but you did make the right choice, because if you hadn't made the right choice, it wouldn't have worked at all. So, there is no such thing as a wrong decision. You chose what you chose at the time you chose it. And it's brought you where you are today. And you may even find that you're happy with your life overall. But there is a niggling feeling in the back of your mind where it's like, why can't I be fully content? Why can't I be fully satisfied? It's because you haven't processed this particular relationship that never happened. I want to say it, but I don't know if I should. It could be a little triggering, so I'm going to put a little timestamp here if you want to skip what I'm about to say. All right, so if you're someone who was supposed to have a child but weren't able to at the time, or chose not to have that child at the time, this could be the spirit of that child coming in to tell you, like, I get it. You are not ready for the responsibility, because it's not just like a random thing. Having a child is a huge deal. It changes your life forever, and you have to be very, very prepared and very, very mature for like parenthood and that kind of thing. So it's completely fair that you chose what you chose, or situations happened the way that they happened, and it's completely fair that you didn't indulge in that contract with this soul. However, there might be a lot of unprocessed emotion from that loss, that you still carry to this day. There might be a lot of unprocessed guilt, unprocessed trauma that you still carry, that you haven't even realized comes from this situation. So whatever the situation is, you guys, this soul wants you to, this definitely feels like a higher self of a human soul that never incarnated, or if they did, they never really crossed paths with you. Or if they did, you separated again. In either case, this person definitely wants you to process the loss of that potential timeline involving them. Because it feels like if they have incarnated on this planet, they might be going through the same thing. And by you processing the loss as well, it might help heal certain aspects in them, encourage them to process their loss, and thereby heal certain aspects of you, because, we're all connected. We're all part of the one. So that's just something to think about. Finally, we have the Seven of Cups, clarified by the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, okay. You might be dealing with a lot of anxiety where you're like, I have no idea where this is coming from or why I feel it, even though I may have processed every single thing that I can think of that could have given me anxiety. I still don't understand where it's coming from. I think this soul is encouraging you to think of it not as breaking a contract that you were supposed to have or denying a relationship that you were meant to have, but rather choosing one of many different timelines that were available to you at the time. And in doing so, you realize that it's not like you making a choice destroys someone else's life. You're simply stepping into one of many potential timelines. Our souls are infinite. Our lives are infinite. That they're only a fraction of the millions and billions and trillions of lifetimes that we live. Because if every single person on this planet comes from the same soul, we are simultaneously living about 8 billion lifetimes right now. And that's not considering people who have existed in the past and people who will exist in the future, and different dimensions and different planets and star systems and all of that. So there is no way you could really have destroyed this connection, because there is a timeline where it does exist, where you did choose to enter into this contract with this person, where you did choose to live this relationship. So it's not like you took something from them, and it's not like you sort of stole a life from someone, or stole a future from someone, or denied someone their happiness, because there is a timeline where you gave them that, and where you found that, and where you are with them, and that's completely fine. Oh, this petal is all bent and weird. And there is a timeline where you've done that forever. And there are other lifetimes where you can meet. There might have been lifetimes in the past where you have met. I think the spirit is trying to tell you that whatever you chose is not permanent. The illusion of permanence is what's keeping you trapped in this grief and this anxiety. The illusion of you making this choice, changing everything forever and being this like big monumental thing, that is what is keeping you trapped in the past, trapped in this guilt that you carry. And once you're able to recognize that you made a choice in one tiny dimension out of the infinite dimensions out there, the quicker you can internalize that, the quicker you can recognize that that is simply the nature of life. That is simply the nature of human existence and of alien existence and of just the drama that we live out. Once you recognize that, you can let go of that anxiety, you can let go of the fear of never meeting the soul, of, sort of catastrophization. Because I feel like that might be something that your mind has been doing ever since you made this choice, ever since you walked away from this connection. It's like your mind thinks that everything is set in stone. It's not. And this soul might incarnate as someone else in your future, and you probably still get to have that connection. Or this soul might incarnate with you in the next lifetime or the one after that, and you get to have that connection. The world that we live in is so limited. And inside of that, the amount that we perceive is even smaller. And the amount of that we process based off of our very biased perspectives is even smaller than that. And so the soul wants you to put things into perspective a little bit, because you might be carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and you don't need to. At the same time, they do want you to process that grief as grief, like identify it as loss, because that's step one into processing it, right? But it's not just random anxiety that you deal with. It is unprocessed emotion. It's unprocessed loss. And that's what this soul is trying to bring you today. So let's take a look at what advice they have for you about this situation. I do not expect this to be the way that it is, you guys. This reading is heavy. We have inner temple, devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of heart healing to do. And if you didn't skip the timestamp, I do think that there's a lot of very deep heart wounds that you carry from that situation, which I will not describe any further for the people who did skip it. But in either case, it's definitely time to go inwards and do a lot of processing. If you identify as quite religious, if you find that you are being called to explore rituals and divinity in a very traditional sense, definitely do that, because it might help calm you down enough. And once you make a habit out of entering that calm state, you can start to process all this emotion, because it's not your run-of-the-mill processing. This is really heavy stuff. This is a whole potential life that you had to walk away from for whatever reason. And again, whatever reason you chose to do this is completely valid, and this soul recognizes that it's completely valid. And they don't ever want you to feel like you threw them away or you forsaked them. I don't know if that's a word, but they do want you to recognize the gravity of the situation, because when you recognize the gravity of it is when you start to chip away at it, when you can get a sort of measure of how big this was for you, that's when you get to really see how much work it's going to take. Next, we have water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely need to give yourself the time and space to heal, especially from this. Because, wow, this is heavy work, and you can't expect yourself to do it just overnight, and you definitely can't expect yourself to be happy without doing it, right? Because this is the stuff that stays with you whether you realize it or not. And in your case, it feels like you haven't really realized it until right this moment. So definitely be gentle with yourself while you process all of this. Definitely give yourself the nourishment that you not only need, but want at any given point. And just gentle gloves, okay? We're going to use gentle gloves with ourselves while we work through this. Finally, what is this person's wish for you moving forward? Electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Oh, that's so sweet. Before we even get into the book, it's like if you chose work or like a job over having this person in your life, if you chose your career over this relationship, know that this person wants nothing but success for you. Know that this person wants nothing more than for you to have that, what you chose, and also this person might be encouraging you to explore your creativity a little more. But let's see. Electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. So maybe if you've been feeling creatively blocked, or if you feel like you have no inspiration to do anything, once you process this, once you start working towards healing this, you might find that suddenly you have a lot more energy. Suddenly you have a lot more inspiration and a lot more creative ideas and the energy to actually follow through on them. But this soul is, this is such an evolved soul. To be able to take rejection like that and still wish you nothing but love and compassion and joy and creativity and success is a powerful soul. And I hope you recognize how wonderful this moment is for you to be able to connect with them like this. For them to have come in to speak to you today is incredible, and I'm so grateful that I get to bring these messages to you. But yeah, you guys, this is heavy work, so I do wish you the very best in processing this, because but yeah, that's wow. Okay, I'm gonna end your reading right now because I feel like I need some R&R myself. But that's your reading for today, Pile 3. I really do hope it brought you some support and clarity, and I wish you nothing but wonderful things and so much healing moving forward. If this resonated, then please remember to like and subscribe. Comment below how this resonated for you. And Yeah, dude, I'm like spaced out right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, thanks so much for being here and sharing your time and energy with me and letting me do this reading for you. I truly hope it helped. If you like what I do and would like to support my work, there is a link to my PayPal tip jar in the description, and I'll be so grateful for any support you can send my way. But in either case, you can stick around to the outro, which is just after this, for another reading on my channel. And that's about it. So thanks so much for being here today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.